There's a moment, right before your life explodes. Looking back, you always recognize it. The last second, you were innocent. The last second, you still believed in fairy tales. For me, that moment was 7:43 a.m. on a Tuesday. I was making coffee. He was still asleep. And on the floor, half hidden under the bed, was a dark blue passport. My name is Isabella Reyes. My family owns Heiress Aviation, the largest private jet charter company in South America, and the third largest in the world. We have 47 aircraft, 1,200 employees, and a reputation built over 40 years. And this is the story of how I married a ghost, and how I buried him. To understand what happened, you have to understand where I came from. My father, Alejandro Reyes, came to Miami from Colombia in 1985 with nothing but a mechanic's license and a dream. I had everything except time with my father. After my mother died when I was 15, I had even less. He buried himself in work. I buried myself in books and ballet, and the desperate hope that someday someone would see me. That was the first thing I noticed, his smile. It wasn't polished like the men in my world. It was real, or what I thought was real. I'd been flown by dozens of pilots, men who called me Miss and kept their distance. Marcus asked me questions, what music I liked, what book was on my nightstand, what I dreamed about when I was little. That night, we ate street food and walked along the old city walls. He told me about growing up in Ohio, his father the mechanic, his mother who died when she was young, how he'd worked 3 jobs to afford flight school, how he'd never met anyone like me. I didn't know it then, but that kiss was a contract. I just didn't know what I was signing. He learned everything. Not just about the company, about me. My favorite flower, gardenias. The song my mother sang to me, Cielito Lindo. The spot on my back where I like to be touched. He studied me the way a scholar studies a text. I thought it was love. I was wrong. It was research. 1 year later, I would learn exactly what his life was worth. Spoiler, not much. The photo was him. Definitely him. Same jaw, same eyes, same slight scar above his eyebrow, from when he fell off a bike as a kid. But the name wasn't Marcus Thorne, and the birthplace, not Ohio. Warsaw, Poland. The date of issue? 3 years before we met, which meant he hadn't just lied about his past. He'd been lying since day one. That was the first time I smiled at a stranger in my own home. It wouldn't be the last. Over the next 2 weeks, my father's team built a file. It was 3 inches thick, and it was worse than anything I could have imagined. I didn't cry when I saw that photo. I didn't cry when I read the file. Something in me had gone quiet, frozen. And in that frozen place, a plan was forming. I became someone else that week, a spy in my own marriage. I learned his passwords, his routines, his tells. I learned that when he was lying, he touched his left earlobe. I learned that when he was nervous, he hummed. And I learned that the man I married was planning to destroy my family, and he was almost done. I almost wavered. Almost. But then I remembered something my father taught me. In business, sentiment is a liability. And marriage, I'd learned, was just business with better lighting. I'd spent a year being the victim, the naive heiress who didn't know her husband was a ghost. But ghosts can't hurt you once you stop being afraid of the dark.
It's been 2 years. Marcus is in a federal prison in Pennsylvania. His wife, Anna, divorced him. She's raising their son in Warsaw. I make sure the child support payments reach her. He doesn't know it's from me. He doesn't need to know. The competitor who hired him, gone, absorbed by a larger firm, their executives scattered, their reputation in ashes. She picks up a photo on her desk. It's her and Anna's son, Anna and I. We're not friends, but we're something. 2 women who were fooled by the same man. We write sometimes. She sends me photos of her son. I send money for his education. It's not a sisterhood, but it's honest. I'm seeing someone now, a journalist. He covered the trial, asked me questions no one else asked. He saw me, not the heiress, not the victim, me. He knows everything, all of it, and he's still here. Marcus wanted my empire. He ended up with nothing. I wanted love. I ended up with an empire. And eventually, love found me anyway. Funny how that works. 2 years ago, someone tried to destroy this company. They thought they could tear us apart from the inside. They didn't count on one thing, my daughter. Isabella cuts the ribbon. The crowd applauds. On the side of the jet, in elegant script, is the name, the Isabella. She wipes it away quickly. They named a plane after me. My father said it was because I kept the company flying, but I know the real reason. It's because I learned to fly on my own. Any regrets? I underestimated her. Is that regret? No, that's respect.